Tak dámy a pánové, vítejte u dalšího dílu ze streamu na Alterscroll Online s češtinou. Tak, já už jsem tady a mám tady další points of interest.
I admit it's quite a story, but I know the difference between a tall tale and a large problem. I'll help however I can.
I shudder to think what your elven circus would consider far-fetched. I'm not so sure I believe it myself.
Sladkosti pro kyselou společnost. Hadžijská píseň urážek. Poutníku, až budeš putovat přes země bez kožešin daleko za mořem, nech si na cestu trochu cukru. Tam je spousta kyselého, co by se dalo utopit. Tak. To víme tak, já jdu ještě zavřít dveře. Jo, jasný. Takhle. Dveře vlastně zavírat nemusím, nechám si otevřený. Z toho by šel normálně udělat básnička, ne? Teoreticky. Zde ještě protalo přes chat GTP.
My, you're as free roaming as a traveling circus. I wouldn't have expected we'd cross paths on the other side of Tamriel. I would invite you to join us as a guest performer, but our show is cancelled indefinitely. On account of drama, ironically. There's a more sinister mischief in Farmer's Nook than the sort the House of Reveries trades in. I hear of townsfolk disappearing, only to turn up and act oddly. We only set camp recently, but the locals fear we've somehow caused their plight.
None. That farmer Hesef said his sister was among the afflicted, and she died recently. At least he thought she died, but she left no corpse. I must clear the troop's name. With the locals wary as they are, though, I need help, and I can pay. Hesef mentioned that two of his neighbors also had loved ones vanish, Braden DeVoe and Jahooz. Speak with them. They may be more open with a less grandiose traveler. You might also speak with Hesef directly, if you wish.
Patching things up with my sister was easier than I expected. I should have given her more credit. They say you can never truly know another person, but talking helps. You should pay another visit. Maybe audition for real this time. Sleepy little towns like Farmer's Nook are the most in need of an escape from the mundane. We came to offer them some mirth and mystery, but it appears we've been upstaged. Well, our troop won't be outdone so easily. We have a reputation to uphold. Help, of course. I've devoted my life to liberating people from their troubles, however briefly. And if I can't do that from a stage, then I will take my talents where they are most needed. Have you forgotten already? I may have abandoned joining the Sapiarchy, but I was still a top candidate among many a talented scholar and mage. I don't have your experience as an adventurer, but I'm more suited to unraveling this mystery than most.
So, working with the mummers. They may seem strange, but you're safer resting at their camp than at the inn. Not to say Braden runs a poor establishment, mind. There's just strangeness afoot in our little village. Folk have been going missing of late, including my sister, Seal. Never for long, a few days. Just enough to plant a worry before they wander back as if nothing happened. but something did. They come back different. Like everything's unfamiliar. Weren't her memory. She could recall details down to where she last left the salt, but acted like she'd never tasted it. She'd bring up things I'd long forgotten as if they'd happened yesterday. Started dredging up old hurts we'd put past us long ago. Can't say. Felt like she wanted to relive the past, good and bad. Don't know what would have brought that on. We lead quiet lives now. Happy lives, I thought. Led, I suppose. She's gone now. If it was even her in the first place. Seal led me to our old swimming hole. Hadn't been there in decades. She dove right in like we did as kids. I looked away before she struck the water. She hit hard. When I screwed up the courage to look, just inky black water. She was gone. That's right. Even with that ink in the pool, I could tell her body weren't there. I searched around the swimming hole, too. Nothing. Not so much as a wet footprint, or even more of that vile ink, like she'd vanished. A lot from our childhood, mostly. If our parents were around, they were deep in the skooma, so Seal and I had to look out for each other. Not so much anymore. The years have been peaceful here. I suppose we'd grown distant before she vanished. No. Maybe. We'd sit down for meals together and tend the farm together, but there's not much to talk about in Farmer's Nook. Another field planted, another day gone by. Was she trying to tell me something? What was she trying to say? We were all a bit shaken by what happened with Igmund, but things were getting back to normal. Until Seal went out to collect logs and didn't return. I begged the others to help me search for her, but they feared they'd vanish too. Truth is, I didn't make it far myself. I thought I heard things in those woods. Even during the day, it felt like something was watching. When she showed up at the house again, I nearly fainted. I should have been relieved, but I felt haunted. Can a ghost take your hand? Make a meal? If she slept, I never saw it. I barely slept myself. The staring was the worst. Felt like she was always watching, smiling. When she'd blink, it was like one eye was a hair shy of the other. Gave me chills.
Nothing wrong with a little opportunistic harvesting.
Ah! Careful! You might have scared the mayor. Who are you? What do you want? You've come about Bugtail. I knew someone would, but my neighbors have kept their distance since he returned. I cannot blame them. I scarcely wish to take him back myself, not after Igmund and Seal, but I couldn't bring myself to turn him away. Yes, or rather, I fear I will share his fate. Bugtail rode out to deliver a horse despite my protest. The gelding returned. He did not. Before I would have been the first to go looking, but I dreaded he'd return, like the others. And he did. Dead or gone, for now. Even the horses could tell something was wrong with him. I fought with this one's reins as he groomed her, but she started and kicked Bugtail. Ink sprayed everywhere. When I cleared my eyes, it was all that remained. I do not wish to speak of what has happened here. But I will. How many more will vanish and return to haunt us if no one tries to stop it? What is it you wish to know, stranger? In the far-off land of Elsewhere, I was taken by sea elf privateers and sold into imperial slavery. Bugtail had been a slave for many years when I arrived. Like many Khajiit after Queen Eurexia invaded Elsewhere. We bonded because we spoke so little. You may think me a spinner of tall tales, but I swear I speak no lies. Bugtail and I were languishing under the hot sun, digging new metal for the Imperial Queen, when a dragon swooped out of the sky and scorched the land. In the chaos, we ran. I hope those days have better prepared you for our troubles than I. Truthfully, I do not know what scared me more, seeing that giant fire-belching beast, or my quiet friend standing at my door like a phantom. I would not have suspected anything amiss had I not known of what happened to Igman and Seal. There was nothing sinister in his look or manner. If anything, he regarded me more warmly than he had in years. Normally, he could go days without a word. He seemed to want to reminisce about our more adventurous days, before we escaped to Farmer's Nook and settled down to raise horses. They were livelier times, but I would not trade them for what I have now.
We're out of meat and no hot meals. If those are luxuries to which you're accustomed, you can keep on moving and find another inn. What are you, some sort of adventurer? Yeah. Yeah, you look the part. Sorry I was short with you. Since Igman passed, I've had to work twice as hard and twice as long to run the inn. It's done my manor no favors. Damned fool. He wanted to build a bonfire and drink the night away like we used to. Haven't seen Igman down mead like that since we were barely men. He lost his legs and tumbled into the fire. Nothing but cinders left by the time I doused the blaze. Not so much of a scrap of clothing. Just black, tarry ashes. Never seen anything throw such a thick black smoke, but it didn't smell like you'd expect. Hair and burned flesh. More like old hay or musty linens. It wasn't natural. I want to know what happened to my brother. Whether he's alive or truly dead. Even if the truth says he really did die in that fire, at least I can put my doubts to rest. What do you wish to know? That's right. He'd gone to get supplies from Gideon. What should have been a couple of days turned into more than a week. I'd begun to fear that he'd been robbed and left for dead on the road, but he wandered back into town like nothing had happened. Said he got lost. As if he hadn't walked that road 1,000 times. I'd have accused him of gambling our money away on toad races, but he had every piece of gold he left with. How do you spend a week lost in the wood and not look worse for wear? Like he didn't have a care in the world. He seemed to be enjoying even the usual drudgery. Never thought I'd miss his belly aching over the chores, but he just didn't seem himself. No. Things were as they usually are in Farmer's Nook, uneventful. It's exciting times when our little inn sees more than a couple travelers in a month. Ever since Igmund got lost, things have been nothing but trouble. 2 others disappeared since Igmund, and all 3 were acting strange before they met untimely ends, if that's even what you could call it. No one wanders from the village now. Some folk are sleeping in my inn just to stick close.
Wait a moment, stranger. I need to speak with you. So you're the one's been asking questions about the people who've gone missing, then come back wrong? I don't like involving strangers in our affairs, but my daughter's gone. Not the first time, or even the 4th, that Annis has run off, but, well, you've heard what befell the others. I'm worried she's in real danger. A few days ago, I punished her for neglecting her chores again. She must have snuck out in the night. I couldn't find hide nor hair of her in the morning. She hasn't been home since. She's a stubborn one. But normally she'd have come back by now. I just want to know she's all right. I hate asking a stranger to do this, but no one else has the spine to leave the Nook right now. And I can't go traipsing after that rapscallion like I used to. Will you find Annis and bring her back to me? Our house is just over there, on the west side of town. There may be something among Annis's things that points to where she ran off to, but my nerves are too frayed to see it. I'm at my wit's end. She doesn't want to live here in Farmer's Nook, I can tell you that. That girl's been trying to get out of here since she was old enough to walk. She's still convinced she's going to travel to Abba's Landing and join some pirate crew. It's not like I raised her to embrace a life of piracy. It's those books her father got her when she was young. Filled her head with ridiculous tales of far-off lands, adventures, and riches. I sailed in my younger days. It's not so glamorous. Sailing is days of rope burns and sunburns. It's being tossed about the cabin while a storm rolls your ship. It's bad food, stale water, and wondering if you'll ever make it home. And that's not the life she's dreaming, and though she won't listen. Well, any luck?
Tak.
We'd don't have much, I know. Anise never fails to remind me. Have you found anything that might lead to my daughter? That's just some old handbill Anise had been hanging on to. Months old. Some vessel seeking fresh-faced deckhands that's long since pulled up anchor. I pitched it to the hearth after our last argument. Probably why she left, but not where. When Anise was little, we couldn't keep her away from it. She'd grab it when we weren't looking and batter the walls and stairs, pretending it was her pirate sword. Drove my husband crazy. I've made do for so long I never bothered to replace it. What's that doing out? Anice's plan for a fort. My husband built it for her when she was about 6. Oh, it must be a moldering wreck by now. Unless... if she hasn't run off to join that elf circus, she might be there. It was east of here, in the hills.
Ah, you're off to find this Anise girl then. Tell me what you've learned. I wasn't able to overhear everything. You've been gone for some time. You managed to persuade the locals to share their stories with you, yes? Did their firelight tales share any common themes? Restless phantoms returning to say their last goodbyes before being spirited away once more? This really is beginning to sound like a ghost story. It's all a little too coincidental, don't you think? There has to be a common cause. You and Hesef have been our only visitors at the camp. If Anise has only recently gone missing, there may still be a chance for us to find her before she becomes the latest victim in this ghost story. Do you have any leads? Seeking out a more comforting time, no doubt. Let's hope she hasn't escaped into the arms of a monster. I'll follow your lead. My expertise in stage combat won't do us much good, but I have a few other talents and tricks up my sleeve.
To je to za hru, je to Elder Scrolls Online. Králi západu. Mám trošku zpoždění teda, jo, s tím na reakci v chatu. Ale je to Elder Scrolls Online. Momentálně s datadiskem, nebo s DLCčkem Blackwood. A je to MMORPGčko v češtině. Jako je ta čeština nová, takže já si běhám tady tím světem, užívám si příběh. Až tomu konečně rozumím. Já doufám, že jsem slyšet. Nejsem slyšet, počkej. Já se omlouvám, jsem neměl zapojit na tom TikToku zvuk. Teď už by to mělo jet, tak to ještě hodně na full screen. Protože já to na ten TikTok hážu přes... A ten TikTok dávám přes Twitch, no, protože mi prostě by to jinak nezvládnou.
Anice's home away from home. We should look around.
That doesn't belong to you! That doesn't belong to you! Looks like someone has sticky fingers. You stole that? You won't get away with it! God!
Footprints coming here and heading somewhere else.
Takže ještě jednou, pokud jsi tady, Králi západu, tak se jedná o hru Elder Scrolls Online. MMORPGčko a teďko čerstvě týden přeložení. Ty vole, tady je mapa celého Tamrielu. Tady vidím ty vole Wanderfell, Somerset, Auridon.
Seems our pirate raided the pantry before she left. She planned to be gone a while. A list of departures. Annie's had a mind to travel. I can picture our young heroine, wielding her imagination like a saber and cutting her way through all manner of adventure. I crave adventure and freedom. Play is my only escape. I come here to plan. I fantasize about leaving. Doubt holds me back. I need someone to believe in me. So often I'm alone, but today I have a visitor, someone I trust. I go with them. I've never been more excited. I believe I have thrust to the heart of the matter. Hear me out. Getting into character, you could say. Preparing for a part is all about understanding my role. How they think, how they feel. Anything and everything about who they are. I have always had a good head for details, and it serves me well as an actress. She's young, or at least young at heart. She's unhappy with her life, but she feels trapped. She has a dream to follow, but she's too scared to go it alone. Only now she's found help. One place to sleep, yet 2 mugs on the crate, both unfinished. And of course, 2 sets of footprints heading south, into the marsh, dancing all the way. The only way forward is to follow in their steps. Shall we dance too? I don't know who Annie's met out here, but the clues suggest that she wasn't in danger. Yet. We shouldn't dawdle. That might very well be the case, though I have to wonder why she'd leave her pack behind if she had no intention to return. I don't like meddling in someone's family affairs, but let's confirm she's all right before we jump to any conclusions. Someone she trusted enough to share a drink with. There's little doubt in my mind that she left with them voluntarily. The question is, was this person really who they appeared to be? We won't know the answer to that until we catch up with them.
Zdare, hele. Push 88. Jak se dneska vede? Teď mi zmizela ta šipka. Jo, počkej. Takhle po stopách. No ty stopy moc nejsou vidět teda jako. Jo, jsou. Počkej. Videa z kamionu. Dobře, povídej. Jsem si vzpomenu, o čem jsem tenkrát mluvil. Ty vole, počkej, tady je to... Štěpka šla sem.
The tracks lead to this ruin. Did Annie's come here seeking adventure? We should look around. Despite the smell, I don't think that's a funerary urn. The ashes are too fresh. There are bits of paper in this brazier, but most of these books are too soggy for tinder.
A tohle jsem říkal v kamionu. Jo, počkej, ty jsi koukal v kamionu, protože jezdíš kamionem, jasně, jo. Já taky občas hraju Eurotrack Simulator, jsem si myslel, že jsem tam něco říkal. Dobrý, hele, nevím, ale ono, když založíš novou postavu, tak je to provede nějakým tutoriálem a pak si vybereš, kam chceš jít. Já jsem teoreticky chtěl založit novou postavu jenom kvůli tomu, že jsem si chtěl natočit to intro na ten vysoký ostrov, až potom budu hrát vysoký ostrov, že bych si k tomu udělal intro. Ale v zásadě to asi můžu udělat technicky hned. A vydrž, mi tady hrozně bouchá pračka. Tak, sorry za to vyrušení. Ale pračka se mi tu zbláznila. Takhle, posloupnost tam je. Teď bych potřeboval vědět, jakou jsi si založil rasu, nebo aspoň alianci, a já ti ukážu, jak se to má procházet na mapě.
This book is well worn, but hardly old. Given the subject matter, I'd wager it belonged to Annie's. Well, this is troubling.
A vlastně tam je jenom jednoduchá posloupnost. Všechny ty rozšíření jsou samostatné příběhy a je vlastně jedno, v jakém pořadí by si rozjel. Od každý výborně. Takže za Altmery Dominion se začíná tady někde asi na stromě Kai, nebo Kenatis Rost vlastně, Kenatis Rost, tam začínáš. Pak se dostaneš do Auridonu, pak do Greatwoodu a pak vlastně projdeš tady ten poloostrov. To je jakoby ta první. Myslím, že se jmenuje Altmery Dominion. Daggerfall Covenant začíná někde, myslím si, že tady na strome Kai. Pak se přes Bedkin dostaneš do Glenumbry. A Stormhaven a Tudletan, nevím, jak to popsat, tak je takové jakože asi poloostrov, nebo tuhle ten jakoby záliv je ta aliance. A třetí, nevím teď, jak se jmenuje ta aliance, a ta začíná vlastně na Blackrock, Vejšrajně a Blackrock prostě. Pak se dostaneš do Balfoenu, do Stonefallsu, přes Deshan do Shadowfenu a pak nahoru to bude Rift do Eastmarche. A když uděláš takhle tu svoji alianci, tak pak můžeš vlastně na libovolný DLCčko, nebo můžeš rovnou na nějaký to DLCčko. Ono vlastně to nebrání ničemu. Technicky se může stát, že když to půjdeš v obráceně, jo, kdyby ses nějakým způsobem dostal sem a šel zpátky, tak tam bude nějaká chyba v tom jakoby v příběhu, ale nemělo by to tak být. A jinak, když uděláš teda tu základní svoji alianci, včetně všech úkolů pro Propeta s Cadwellem, tak vlastně uděláš i Cold Harbor. Není vůbec zač. Ale v zásadě, jak říkám, když půjdeš jakýkoliv DLCčko, tak ty by měly být podle mě úplně samostatný. Já upřímně nevím, jo, já to hraju s češtinou teprve týden, takže tomu pořádně rozumím týden, ale už jsem narazil, právě jak jsem přešel z jednoho světa sem, že už jsem se setkal se stejnýma lidma, kteří věděli, že už jsem se s nima dřív setkal. Nevím, jestli to je přímo v té hře už nějakým způsobem zakomponovaný nebo ne. No a jinak teď, jak jdou ty DLCčka chronologicky, jo, tak jestli si dobře pamatuju, tak Wanderfell, Somerset, potom to bych kecal, jestli Heavbane anebo Zlatý pobřeží. A pak hned to druhý samozřejmě, pravděpodobně. Potom myslím, že ty kráso. A já teď nevím, jestli byl dřív Skyrim nebo Elsewhere. To bych ti taky teď kecal, taky nevím, teď úplně takhle z hlavy. No ale poslední jasný, to je ten vysoký ostrov.
I believe Annis came here and performed some sort of ritual, and not the sort conjured from an overactive imagination. Whoever she followed here convinced her to make an offering to this place. I'm certain that well-worn adventure book was a dear possession to Annis. She wouldn't have torn pages from it for a lark. She burned them in that brazier with her own blood for some ritual purpose.
No vlastně nepřišel si o ten příběh, protože ty se tam můžeš dost sportnout zpátky. Pokud si vylez v tom High Islu, tak můžeš začít ten příběh úplně tak, že se portneš na tu výšrajnu, jo. Ti ještě ukážu, řekněme, že seš teda někde na tom vysokém ostrově, jo. Já tam teda samozřejmě nejsem, protože ho nemám koupený a i když mám ESO+, tak to ještě není k dispozici. Ale ty prostě vlezeš na nějakou random výšrajnu a tady budeš mít v každém tom, nevím jestli v každý, ale minimálně v té alianci, za kterou máš tu postavu, budeš mít otevřenou výšrajnu v tom prvním městě, ve kterém se začíná. A tam se normálně můžeš portnout. V ten moment, kdy se tam portneš, jakoby na tu výšrajnu, kterou máš odemčenou, k tobě přiběhne nějaká ta hlavní postavička nebo nějaká ta postava s tou šipčičkou a hnedky zadá hlavní úkol té linie. A potom hlavním úkolu tě to už provede dál celou tou celou tou frakcí. Všema těma zónama. A když budeš mít hotový všechny ty zóny, tak se potom můžeš portnout na zónu nějaký další té frakce. Takže vlastně ty nepřijdeš o žádný příběh. Jo? Jenom ho prostě můžeš jet díl. A doporučuji dělat hlavně ty kadvelovský příběhy za harboráží. Jo, přesně. Ale nebo můžeš ten hajs udělat komplet celý a pak se můžeš přesunout dál. No nebo to můžeš smazat a udělat to jindy, jo. Ale v zásadě není žádná začátečnická lokace v té hře. Protože ta postava, kterou máš, tak ta je vlastně přepočítávaná do lokace tak, aby si byl i na levelu 1 schopnej fungovat kdekoliv. Jo, s levelem 1 můžeš jít klidně do Coral Harboru a tam to tam mlátit, protože ta hra to jakoby dopočítává. Stejně tak, když budeš mít level 10 a půjdeš do Cyrodiilu na PvP a bude tam s tebou třeba level 40, tak to stejně bude dopočítaný, že damage budete dávat bajvoko podobný, ale budete se lišit skillama, protože samozřejmě vyšší level znamená víc možností skillů, lepší morfy, nebo vůbec nějaký morfy a tak. Není vůbec zač? Klidně se ještě ptej.
Whoever she followed here convinced her to make an offering to this place. I'm certain that well-worn adventure book was a dear possession to Annis. She wouldn't have torn pages from it for a lark. She burned them in that brazier with her own blood for some ritual purpose. Daedric rituals weren't on my curriculum in the College of Sapiarchs, but I've studied enough magic to puzzle this out. There's a good chance Annis will return to town, like the others. If she does, confront her about this. If Annis does return to Farmer's Nook, be careful confronting her. The last thing we want is for her to do something drastic and come to harm like those who came before her. Afraid my witty repartee won't be enough to keep me out of trouble? I'm hurt. Trust me when I say I know how to make a dramatic exit when I need to, but if I don't return to town in a short while, assume the worst.
Tak, pak si mluvil o upírech a vlkodlacích. To má své výhody, si říkal na streamu někomu. Takže otázka zní pro Kastera. Je lepší upír nebo spíš? No, to mě sedne. Pro Kastera si myslím, že není vhodný ani jedno, upřímně. Ale je to názor jenom, jo. A hlavně, jak bych to řekl, ono to třeba hraní za vlkodlaka pro mě vlastně znamená, že když si zahrát za vlkodlaka, tak s tou postavou, kterou mám kousnou, prostě někam dojdu, tam se morfnu za vlkodlaka a jsem v té vlkodlačí podobě maximální dobu, dokud mi to prostě nedojde. A hraju vlastně čistě jenom toho vlkodlaka, takže tam už mám tu postavu přizpůsobenou tomu, že jedu hodně staminu a hodně HPčka a caster jde víceméně magicu. Takže tam bych jako vlkodlaka u castera, já jsem to pochopil správně, teda, že hraješ castera, že kouzlíš, káskíš různý skilly, že jsi kouzelník. Tam jsem to pochopil správně. Upír tedy zase dělaný na magicu, ale je dělaný tak jakože pro castera nevím, no. Hele, každopádně existuje tady ve hře zbrojnice, když máš housing. Když housing nemáš, můžeš se portulnout na můj housing, jestli máš můj account. Normálně si mě přidáš do přátel a pak dáš travel to primal residence, nebo další privátní sídla, tam mám tu zbrojnici a můžeš si přepínat 2 různý buildy. Takže jestli chceš, tak se z té může stát upír a vyzkoušet si ten upíří skilllineu. A když ti bude jo, tak si ji necháš, když ne, tak se může potom přepnout zpátky, nebo můžeš přepínat. Já mám vlastně takhle healera, kterýho jsem vlastně expel pár dní zpátky, tak toho mám udělanýho na ty jedný, že mám čistě heal za nekromanta Milda 007, to je kámoš, který musím včera nastavil počítač. Já jsem Arafon Jasanduš. A teď se vrátím k té původní myšlence a ta byla o tom, že že mám toho nekromanta udělanýho jako upíra, ale používám jenom některé ty upírský skilly, protože když jsem jako damager, tak tam používám i skilly toho nekromanta. To můžu potom když tak ukázat. Ale teďko, tady mám rozjetý tenhle ten úkol. Počkej, byl ten 07, ten byl tady někde, ne? Jo, vidím ho tady teďko. Jo, je tady, jo. Milda to tam nemá, prosím tě, jo. To jsem jenom ukázal, jak vypadá ten... a nebo počkej, KF 99, a to tam má určitě taky tu zbrojnici. Jo. A já jsem Arafon Jasanduš, já ji tam mám taky, já jsem tady nahoře. Milda ji tam nemá, ale asi mu ji tam někdy dohodíme. Aby ji tam měl taky. Já teda popravdě nevím, co má Milda za primární sídlo. Můžu se tam podívat potom, až dodělám tenhle ten úkol. A teď mě to tady někdo hodně daleko. No, zase daleko to není. Teď se s tou pozbírám nějaký věci. Jinak někde jsem čet, a nevím, jestli to pamatuju správně, že na upíra se doporučuje minimálně level 10. Ono samozřejmě můžeš kousnout i postavu s levelem 1, ale že ten úkol, kterým se to vlastně provádí, ten jakoby úvodní úkol do toho, aby si dostal tu skill line upírskou, takže ten je docela těžký a už tam je potřeba mít nějaký skilly. A ještě jedna věc, nevýhoda upíra je v tom, že když seš na té nejvyšší stage, tak většina NPCček, který obchodují ve městě s tebou, nebudou chtít mluvit, takže si u nich nebudeš moc opravovat zbroj nebo prodávat.
Anise, everything all right?
Your mother's looked all over for you. Where have you been?
Ugh, I ran away again, all right? Just be glad I came back at all.
A tady nebudeme sami. Nemáš zač?
What's the big deal? This is the 7th time I tried running away in 3 years. Why are they all gawping at me like they're afraid to blink? Do I know? No, I don't know you. Why do you care? And none of those people disappeared. They went after their dreams. I'm not the only one who has those, you know. Nobody wants to be stuck in Farmer's Nook for their whole life.
Vůbec nevá, já budu rád, i když si třeba se potkáme ve hře, můžeme si zahrát, nebo kdyby si chtěl kousnout za toho upíra, tak řekni, můžu ti kousnout. Nebo vlkodlaka, jako víš co, to jsou věci, které jsou jakoby pro mě rozšíření té hry, takže na vyzkoušení určitě doporučuji. Vždycky se to dá zrušit za peníze. Jo, ano, Arafon Jasandus, ne, počkej. Arafon, nějaký to asi sem napíšu spíš, hele. Je to takhle. Takhle by to mělo být. Samozřejmě, když jsem si zakládal ten account, tak jsem nevěděl, že přes ten account mi lidi budou moci přidávat do přátel, protože tohle. Jinak by to bylo 1x4, že jo. A mám pocit, že to tam ani nešlo tenkrát, když jsem to zkoušel. No, ale to bylo v roce 2014. Pecka. Jinak teď to se mi povedlo konečně už dosáhnout toho, a to musím poslat přítelkyni, že tady to jakoby v uvozovkách reklama už je jenom v tom jednom bloku. Takže já jí to musím takhle poslat. Konečně jsem to vychytal, aby ta dílka byla správná. Nemáš zač, já se teď podíval se na chvilku na ten příběh.
They just didn't want anyone to miss them. It's why I'm here now. I didn't want the last time my mom saw me to be after another fight. But they have to let us go sometime. What? No, it's not like they're buried in a crypt or anything. I'm just trying to say I'm not the only one who felt trapped here. I don't know why I'm telling you all this. I don't even know you.
I hate to interrupt, but
Tak dobrou chuť.
may we have a word in private? So, that's Anis Favrad. What do you make of her? How apropos, considering that little library we found is a shrine to Hermaeus Mora. Though I'm still not sure how the Demon of Knowledge fits into this puzzle of ours. Why would Anis consort with it? Perhaps I should have made an offering of my own? It certainly looks that way. I didn't find anything relating to the ritual that was performed at that shrine, but some of those moldy tomes shed a little light on things. The Aelids who used to live out here revered Mora as their principal prince. The shrine we found was simply one of many ruins. I discovered record of another ruin near to Farmer's Nook. If we're dealing with a cult or some other servants of Mora, it would make the perfect hideaway. What do you say we go check it out? The ruin I spoke of is north of town, not too far. I'll have a word with the innkeeper and Hesef about keeping Anis occupied while we work, but if you wish to speak with anyone else before we head out, I'll wait here. We have reason to suspect that Anis is somehow involved in this mystery. Better to assume she is playing the role of the villain until we know more. Even if she's simply another victim of circumstance, it's safer for everyone that she stay put.
She's back. She's safe. Oh, it feels like I've pulled my heart from a vice. Oh, sorry I troubled you with another of Anis's tantrums. No, nothing. She looks right as rain, and I'd recognize that attitude anywhere. I know what you're driving at. You're saying I should be worried? Well, out with it. I didn't mean to bite your head off. You've got good reason to worry. She's certainly the picture of Anis. But I'll talk to her and make certain nothing strange has come of her.
We finally realize how much we've sold.
Tyjo, dnešní akci nestíhám, já půjdu do hospody, tyjo. A hlavně, že jsem to dával do kalendáře.
A torn page. We're closing in.
Jo, kde to vidíš, tu roztržnou stránku? Já jsem je rozsvítil. Jo, tady. Ano, blížíme se, to je jasný.
This looks right. After you. Adventurers first.
Pěkný režim musí být, to je jasný.
Stand back, you swab! You cannot board this vessel until you have satisfied me, the mighty Flicker!
Look out, she's Mighty Flicker? From the saga of Captain Wereshark? That I did not expect.
Já jsem taky nečekal, že to vyzní tak dvojsmyslně.
ancient ruin protected by fictional guardian is a twist I never saw coming. Was this Anis's doing? Regardless, I believe you'll need to convince the guardian to let us pass. While that would make an extraordinary claim for the game of boasts, the mighty flicker there is nothing more than an illusion. The ward upon the door you'll find much stronger. We don't. Trying to dispel or break it with force would be an undertaking, if not an impossibility. Unlocking it, however, might simply require you to play the part the Guardian expects you to play. No need to be so literal, love. It makes for dull lines. The book used in the ritual at that shrine earlier, the saga of Captain Wereshark. That should give you some insight into how the Guardian expects you to respond. Convince it that we belong.
Tak pecka. To už budu, ale to, kolem 8 už budu zase... Budu tak končit, no, v té hospodě. Ale to se dneska ve hře asi nepotkáme. Ale tak potkáme se příště. Mám v plánu hrát i zítra. Taky takhle nějak. Od těch 3 do 5, možná do 6. Podle toho, jak to vyjde. Sága o kapitonu Veresakovi. Dobrý. Pokecáme si tady s Mighty Flickou.
Ha! Think you can sail with me, wee one? I've felled giants like trees. I've slapped a dragon around until it got down and licked my hand. I've kicked Molag Bal in the arse once, and he begged me to do it again. Ha ha! Answer me this. Why do we sail?
Jo, takhle. Takže já si to musím tady vyčíst z té knížky. OK, to je slavný, že tady byly ty možnosti.
Think you can sail with me, wee one? I've felled giants like trees. I've slapped a dragon around until it got down and licked my hand. I've kicked Molag Bal in the arse once, and he begged me to do it again. Ha ha! Answer me this. Why do we sail? Aye, what pirate lass hasn't appreciated a fine pile of gold? But no! What is booty without a crew to share it with? A thief can steal treasures. A bandit can take riches. Think, ye wee one. Why do we sail the high seas? And there you have it. What worth is booty if it isn't earned? What is a battle if you don't cut a bloody swath through your enemies? We sail for honor, for glory! Now brace yourself, wee one. You face the Argonian next!
Will the sea swallow you like so many others? The high seas run deeper than any river, filled with the blood of enemies. A challenge awaits you, sailor. Are you prepared to give our journey your all? Or will you wilt like a mushroom in summer? Tell me, speak true. Why do we sail? What use is a pirate for the possessions of the dead? All too often they are old, or noxious, or cursed. The river washes away all things, living or dead, and all one's possessions. This one erects the spine of disappointment. Earth is earth. Rivers are rivers. Each new land is like the old, with that which kills and or must be killed. The voyage of discovery motivates only the foolish. Think, pirate, and answer me again. I erect the spine of respect. I have fought countless monsters alongside the were-shark, yet none has ever bested me in battle, much to my regret. One day, I hope, I will meet that which can kill me. Now, face two scars, and rejoice in Sithis.
Think you have what it takes to join the were-shark's crew? I doubt it. So, you've impressed the big bear and the hard turtle. So what? I walk in the shadow and sleep in the trees. I drink snake venom and piss honeyed mead. I'm the baddest, sharpest, meanest pirate on the high seas. But I don't sail alone. Why? That's right, we're family. Every one of us, from the captain himself to the lowliest swabber of decks, is one big, happy, fierce, terrifying family. No mere crew can hold a candle to us, because we're not a crew, we're blood. Welcome aboard, kin.
Your performance could have used more verve, but it seems the Guardians aren't judging on enthusiasm. Let's head inside. Oriel above. It's Anis and all the others. They appear to be alive. Let's try waking them.
Dare ye cross sabers with red Anis?
Gold. So much gold.
Oh, darling. That's lovely.
more sweet roses.
It's a dream. They're all dreaming. This is no normal sleep, but it's oddly benign for a curse. None of these people appear to be in distress. In fact, they seem to be dozing quite serenely. Some of them have been missing for weeks, yet they show no signs of poor health. Not from the spell they're under, no. Though why they were made to sleep and what our mystery stranger intends for them is still very much unknown. I believe so, but I'm not entirely certain we should. Right now, the spell isn't doing any harm, but tampering with it could change that. I'd like to get a better idea how Anise and the others came under this spell before I start striking it through. Now that you've rehearsed your role, let's cast you as a pirate in her fantasy. See if you can reach Anise within her dream and get her to wake up. When you're ready, place a hand on Anice's forehead and start counting sails.
Tak a jdu do snu. Pecka.
Look alive! The dead have come for us!
Tady podpalubí, jo. Bych se tam asi měl někudy dostat, ne? Ty otázky, kudy se tam leze. Tak jo.
If you came to help, you have my thanks. But it's not needed. Looks like Prince Vogger is going down with his ship. Not that the ship is going down, I mean. It's just... You know what I mean. What did you... No. I'm Red Anise, the Crimson Shrike, and I'll skewer any swab who says otherwise. Stow it, sailor. With Prince Vogger dead, we need to find his treasure. Check his cabin while I search the rest of the hold. This adventure isn't done until we've secured that treasure. Savvy?
Tak jo. Otázka, kam mi to vede?
It then? Well, let's have a look. Prince Vogger's treasure was a book. Didn't know old Deadeyes could read. Well, let's get it back to Captain Wereshark. Maybe it'll help break the curse. Red Anise to you, Swabby. This book, this is about Captain Wereshark and Flicka and the others. I don't understand. This is all a story. But where am I? Why aren't I in the book? I remember it now. I remember it all. Damn it, Cress. You said I could finally escape, and no one would come for me. They wouldn't even know I was gone. That was the deal. Cress said that they would make it so I could finally live out my dreams. I could have this life, and they would take my place. I'd finally be free of Farmer's Nook, and my mom wouldn't ever need to worry about my life of piracy. I know. It was too perfect. I knew it was too perfect. Dreams don't last. That's why they're dreams. Just a few more moments. It was just getting good. I just want to celebrate victory with the captain once before this is all over. Maybe steal a kiss before I go. Please, I can tell you about Cress when we're back in the ruin. Just leave me with the dream a little longer.
Nechtěla si slavit vítězství? Protože mám bounty.
You're awake! Good. It's been a while since I've worked any magic that didn't involve sleight of hand. Anise is still soundly asleep. Could you not get through to her in the dream? So, she stepped right into the story that's inspired her since she was little. That explains the ritual with that book. How better to keep her under the spell than to put her in a prison she wouldn't want to escape. Insidious. You're telling me this Cress didn't take her place? They traded for it? And not just her, but everyone here. What does Cress have to gain from these bargains? To infiltrate the town? What could a sleepy village offer someone who can create dreams? The deal they made isn't so harmless as they might have believed. You've seen how frightened the villagers are. How many more need to vanish before Cress has whatever it is they want? They won't like it, but we should wake them and end this farce. Here we go. Pray that a rude awakening is the worst they have to suffer. It's ready. Wake Anise, and the curse will break.
Farewell, Captain.
No! He promised!
My gold!
My sweet Rose!
All right, so we're awake. Dreams shattered. A life of brooms and boredom ahead. Happy now? Cress is different. They looked like Bugtail when they approached me, but his clothes were covered in ink and he seemed unwell. They confessed that they weren't who they appeared to be, but they needed my help. Cress didn't look suspicious to me, just sad, vulnerable. They said they screwed up again, that they couldn't be who they were trying to be. Cress knew I didn't want to stay in Farmer's Nook, so they offered to take my place. I think they were running away too, from a life they didn't want to go back to. You know how many times I tried to do that? But I could never just leave my mom behind, alone. I thought we'd all be happy this way.
Čau, čau, Pepičko, Minecraft 2012.
She would not.
Mother? I'm sorry.
If you wanted to be rid of me so bad, you could have sent a fake who did her chores.
It was nice, you know, but I'm sorry this caused so much trouble.
Oh, thank you for finding my girl. I'd never imagined she'd have gone to such lengths to get away from here. I should have listened sooner. I followed you. I was glad to see Annie's back in town, but I knew deep down that wasn't my girl, and watching her act a part made the worry in my gut so much worse. I had to see for myself. Back at the Happy Crow, I told Brayden he could put whatever she liked on my tab if it kept her occupied. If you wish to find the freeloader, that's where she'll be.
We will trust Mile to see these people safely back to town. You and I should find Cress at once. Try not to judge them too harshly for their grouchiness. We just ripped them from the most pleasant slumber they've ever experienced. We should be off at once.
Tak, hra se jmenuje Elder Scrolls Online a je to MMOčko, MMORPGčko a před týdnem vyšla čeština od Pařanského ráje, takže teďka si užívám jedno rozšíření Blackwood se to jmenuje a vlastně tady procházím tím příběhem. Respektive hlavní příběh toho Blackwoodu už mám hotovej a teď dodělávám takový ty vedlejší questy. Jo, díky Puši, že to tam psal. Je to AI překlad. Překlad je teda přes AI. A jinak tam vlastně AI není nic. Co se týká jakoby těch neuronových sítí, nějaké mechaniky tam jsou, ale nic, co by používal přímo neuronové sítě. Ta hra je z roku 2014, takže 9 let stará. To je jenom tak pro kontext. Ne, Google překladač není AI. Google překladač funguje, nebo takhle, jako nechci kecat, jo, zase. Myslím si, že není. AI překladač je třeba deeple.com. To funguje tak, že ono se to jakoby musí naučit. Když to, podle mě ten Google furt ještě funguje na těch starých principech, že prostě hello rovná se ahoj. A hello world znamená ahoj světe. Když to ten AI překladač ví, že hello world znamená sice ahoj světe, ale používá se to jako první věta při programování, když vytváříš nový program, když se učíš. A když by to bylo v nějakém kontextu, je schopný ten kontext do toho zahrnout, do toho samotného překladu. Ale možná, že Google už má nějakou adaptaci podobnou, možná, že ne, to nevím. To by mohl teoreticky vědět tady Strider.cz, ahoj, zdravím tě. Zrovna se tady bavíme na Twitchi o překladačích. A je tady otázka od jednu sledující, jestli je Google překladač taky přes AI. Já si myslím, že není, ale možná, že do toho už za ty roky, měsíce jakoby nějaký ty prvky AI překladu jakoby dali. Ale těžko říct. Já třeba vím, že Deeple, ten funguje přes ty neuronové sítě.
They have a look about them, one I've seen before. It's the look of a skooma addict, sick and desperate on the street, lost without their escape. With the help and support of those who love them, one can hope. Ultimately, it will be up to each of them to decide what's most important to them. It could be that the two spells were mingling. That's not something seen often. Or perhaps it's simply that this Cress person was also inspired by Anis's dream. Why indeed? It's easy to guess what motivated these people to pursue their wildest dreams, but the workings of this Cress's mind are inscrutable. What would you do if you were them? Would you leap at the chance to live a perfect fantasy?
Jo, jasný. No já třeba vím, nebo někde jsem čet, že právě ten DeepL dokáže vzít i jako frázi a přiložit frázi, jo? Že třeba v angličtině mají takový nějaký přísloví a on pochopí význam toho přísloví a přidělí tomu český přísloví, i když ty slova a význam je vlastně úplně jiný, ale systém nebo význam toho přísloví zůstane furt stejný. Tak.
Indeed. We've all had to make choices about what we're willing to risk to attain our desires. Cress's bargain promises perfection without the sacrifice. Who wouldn't be tempted? Is a life without need or want truly fulfilling? I can't say.
Tak a jdu na minutku na záchod. Hele lidi, dejte mi minutku, mě se doprala pračka, tak jenom rychlosti vyndám a za chvíli budu zase hrát. Zatím to nechám teda takhle běžně, doufám, že mě to nediskonectne. Aha. Aha, jo. To používám za addony, jo? Takže můj nejnovější addon je samozřejmě čeština. A jinak. Jinak používám, tady mám nějaký knihovny, nevím, proč jsou povypínaný. Wotan's minimapku, pak i jet kompas prostě. A ten vlastně nepotřebuju tady používat. Potom treasure mapy, lorebooky mám vyplý, proč? Ty si tam nechám taky zaplý. No prostě, harvest mapy mám zaplý, ale pak je mám vyplý v tom, v mapě. Takže to je harvest mapy, lorebooky, treasure mapy, piny na mapě, minimapka a k tomu knihovny, který potřebuju. Tak já to teda načtu, snad to nehodí žádnou chybu. Jinak to jsem viděl, tak adonů je celá řada, dokonce jsou adony, které sami sortují inventář ještě dalším způsobem, než je ve hře, nebo úplně změní celý interface hry. Není jste bez úhony? No, ještě mám 23 zlaťáků bounty.
Some kind of tomb? Where's my treasure? Last I remember, I was in my treasure room. Wait, so this is real? The dream is gone? My treasure's gone? Why would you do that? Why would he think I'm dead? That's not what Cress promised. He said he'd just be me. He even agreed to do my chores. Was that all a bunch of hogwash? Heck of a way to go. Wait, is Cress dead then? Damn it. I guess there's no hope making another deal.
How could you do this? How could you wake me? Cress said I would live in that dream forever. It was a damned sight better than this. I had a castle, servants, suitors hanging off my every word. I had everything I ever wanted. You don't know what it's like for us, growing up. We had nothing. We still... Hesef? Hesef seems happy with his plow and his pigs. He's a grown man, and more capable than I am at fending for himself. He doesn't need me anymore. And Cress was supposed to keep him company. We barely speak anymore as it is. Dead? Oh, Hesef, I never wanted that. I suppose I need to talk to him, like we used to. He deserved.
Už to rychlejší, než o ní mluví.
So moist and rich and warm. So much frosting. This one can just barely still taste them. The sweet rolls. The most delicious, moist, warm, fragrant sweet rolls to ever leave a baker's oven. Bugtail ate them often. Bugtail had them all. Yes, what else would one dream about? Have you never known the ecstasy of sweet moon sugar cream melting upon your tongue? This one has not tasted true sugar since he left elsewhere. He has missed it so. So he could, if he were satisfied with iced rolls grown stale from weeks on the road. But when one offers the chance to have them at their freshest and most perfect, always and forever, why would Bugtail not take such a bargain?
Dneska vychází update češtiny. Super. Do kolika tak Ruda většinou streamuje, prosím tě, protože já budu kolem 8 ještě někde ve městě. A domů chci být teda do 9, ale nevím, jestli mi to vyjde. Utrhnout se od piva. I když všichni jdeme ráno do práce, takže jako snad kolem té 9 už doma budu a to by ještě streamovat mohl, že bych to rovnou stáhnul a zítra nainstaloval. A to se moc těším na update češtiny. Jako jak jsem říkal, mi už stačí ta verze, která je tady, ale čím lepší to bude, tím lepší, že jo. Super. Jo, to, no, zkusím. Měl bych to stihnout, no. Doufám, že to vyjde.
Hey, you! Have you seen Anise? Have you seen Anise? She ran off. I knew I shouldn't have let Hesef watch her alone. Mile asked me to keep the girl occupied, so I kept her mug full and listened to her go on about her pirate stories. I was getting famished, so I asked Hesef to watch her while I made a stew. That was the last I saw her, until I heard Hesef calling. They were playing cards when she just bolted out of her chair like a snake bit her and ran out the door. He chased her, but Hesef's not much of a runner. Said Anise was headed east, out of town. Miles going to have my hide for this. Hold on, real Anise? Who was it we've been watching this whole time?
Takže, jo, co se tam?
I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back.
Tak fajn.
You're the one I don't know. Why are you here? I didn't run away again, I promise. Excuse me? You don't even know me. I am Anise. I can prove it. Ask me anything. I'm her twin sister. I can't be Anise anymore. I know. Maybe I could be someone else. What about you? Can I be you?
Enough of this charade, Cress. Off with your false face.
What are you? Ah!
You're a Daedra?
Wait! Don't hurt me. I didn't do anything. I just gave them what they wanted.
Já poslouchám. Počkej, po pátý, to je to půl šestý. Aha, jo, takhle. Dobrý, budu s tím počítat. Tak 5 vyrazím, to jsem vlastně tak nějak v plánu. Jo, dobře, tak jo. Dobrý, super, tak zatím máme, čau. Tak je to dobrý, tak na pivo už od 5:30, takže to bych měl 100% stíhat.
I just want to live, like you. I'm so tired of watching. I don't want to go back. Don't make me go back. To the unbound library of the one who knows. To record what was observed. That is our purpose. To watch your lives and ink the details down. Day in, day out. Always the same. They know it too. The people here. That's why I offered an escape. I kept getting it wrong. Being a person. Despite all I knew, I kept making mistakes. Bad, painful mistakes I couldn't undo. So I had to try again. And again. Life is hard, but that makes it interesting. Please, let me stay. Don't send me back. Yes, please. I didn't mean to cause any trouble. I won't cause any more trouble. This is where the one who knows sent me. It is what I know. I thought I could live here and no one would treat me any differently. I could finally experience all the things I'd only observed. Friendship, love, family, mead. Mead was good. To know, as they must. Your tiny pupil suggests that is insufficient. The one who knows seeks all knowledge. We observe so that all becomes known. We are the one's eyes, and we are multitudes. Alone, I suppose I am. I had not considered that. I will no longer be a part of the one, but something separate. It's unsettling, but also exciting. I don't know what I'll do without a mortal form, but I'll think of something. I need a mortal pack to do anything more than create an illusion. I traded dreams because they are the neighbor of knowledge and within my reach. I don't have much else to offer a mortal in exchange. Correct. The terms are not important, only the bargain matters. If I find someone willing to form a less troublesome pact, then maybe I could stay. The one who knows watches most. The one seeks not to change, but to observe. If the one sees me here, they will know what was once unknown.
Super, ale díky moc. Každopádně já myslím, že to stihnu, protože kluci, se kterými jdu na pivo, oni právě rozváží pivo pro pivovar. A nevěděli, kdy se vrátí. Vlastně jsme měli domluveno, že mezi 6. a 7. by měli mít jakoby návratku. A teď mi právě volali, že už se vrací, takže by měli být kolem 5:30 už na lokaci v hospodě. Takže díky tomu, že jdeme už takhle od brzo, tak si myslím, že do těch 8 budu doma a možná ten stream stihnu úplně od začátku celý. Ale každopádně díky, kdyby náhodou, tak se určitě nějakým způsobem ozvu.
would return to Apocrypha and resume the catalog of all things until I've exhausted my knowledge, and the one who knows casts me into the world to observe again. That would not be, in mortal terms, for a very long time.
Tohle už je druhý úkol tady v tom Blackwoodu, který odkazuje na ten nový datadisk Necrom. A mě by zajímalo, jestli to je nějaký update těch úkolů, který na to začali takhle odkazovat, nebo jestli už když byl vydaný Blackwood, tak už se počítalo s tím Necromem. Tak.
So, this pitiable creature wants to escape its lot in life too. Even Daedra dared to dream. I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't feel some sympathy for its plight. I know that suffocating feeling far too well, and the desperation to escape it. I know what it's like to be blinded by the need for liberation. Cress and I both caused more pain than we ever intended. Misguided as Cress was, I don't believe they acted in malice. There aren't many stories of compassionate Daedra, but it seems at least some of them might be true. The question is, does this little Daedra's story have to end in tragedy? It may fly in the face of common sense, but I think Cress might have the makings of a fine player. They're a bit unrefined, but taking on a new role seems to come naturally, and they'll never forget their lines. I could sponsor them to the house.
Please don't send me back. I promise not to be a bother to anyone ever again. Ever, ever.
Má vážně velký strach.
Has speaking with Cress convinced you, one? I thought so, and my eye for talent is one of the best among the players. By the time Cress presents themselves before the Grand Maestro, I will have transformed them into a master thespian. I'll stake my reputation on it. All's well that ends well, as they say. This certainly wasn't the direction I expected this story to take, but a good mystery always keeps you guessing. You were a grand co-star. If we ever adapt Investigator Vale for the stage, I'll be sure to call. All right, Cress. I have a deal for you.
You do? Does this mean I can stay?
No, not in Farmer's Nook, anyway.
Oh. Does it mean I don't have to go back to the library?
Yes, and you will get to live a great many incredible lives.
I can? What do you need me to do?
Watch and learn. You're going to be my apprentice. Now, let's get you a mask. Now, if you're going to be a proper hopeful, I'm going to need you to take a form similar to one of my players. Can you do that?
Oh, yes. With your help, that will be easy. How is it?
You'll have no difficulty with brisk scene changes, certainly. Now, for a name that speaks to your soul, what about Dreamer?
Dreamer. I like that very much.
Tak, to je asi vše tady z toho Points of Interestu. Ale jak už se blíží ta 5. hodina, tak já nevím, jestli budu rozjíždět další. Ale chtěl jsem se podívat, co tady mám za ty starožitnosti. Jo, takže tady. Titusův pohled přidává zdraví brnění a snižuje zmírnění bloků. Kalhoty maximálně 10 zásobníků. Takže počkat, co? A tak tohle by mohlo být pěkný. Co to je dál? Stříbrná šňůra. By to potřeboval přeložený. Abych si mohl najít zbytky. A mrknu ještě na ten prsten. Tak yes. Ty vole, tohle by bylo na vlkodlaka peckový. Získejte trvalý zásobník stupňující se fate, který máte v boji. Prvná šňůra mohla být dobrá. No já si to každopádně všechno vyfotím. Jo, a tady teda teď nemám žádný skarejování, ničeho. Tohle teda ještě můžu, jo? Tak ještě teda vyskrájím toto. Ale zase tady. To snad není možný. No, to je jedno. Mrknu ještě to do města, mám ještě 15 minut, takže úkol rozjíždět tu žádný nebudu, ale mrknu, jestli náhodou mi to nehodí tu pochodeň, kterou ještě nemám hotovou. Tu poslední pochodeň bych rád udělal jako součást denního úkolu.
Fancy yourself a friend.
Tak, jenom mi ukáže, že to je ona. Jo. Je to ona, ne? Počkej, ukáž mi mapu. Získané střepy. A skiský šárdy. Počkej, to jsou... Šárdy, ale... Rubriky to mám taky. Proč tady nevidím ský šárdy? Cíle jasně, společníci, střepy, můžete dát. Jo, to jsou jako ty získaný, ale... Jo, no nemám tam prostě ten skýšár, takže... Já si teda, jsem to se nepřečet, takže si v rychlosti jdu teda vzít tady pokecat. Bych zjistil vůbec, o co tam jde.
Careful! There are a few insect friends roaming around in the grass here. I'd rather you not step on them. Did you need something from me? Oh, I'm so glad! I really can't thank you enough for doing this. I would go myself, but it really is quite dangerous. I care deeply for these insects, but I know I'd be no help to them dead. But you look incredibly strong. I'm sure you can rescue them. The undertow torch bugs themselves should be easy enough to catch.
Livnov is now following.
Děkuju za follow.
I'm sure you're more than capable of handling. Just be gentle with the torch bugs, please. Take care when you handle them. Oh, what kind of question is that? Have you seen insects? I've catalogued 1,263, each one more exciting than the last. They're all so unique. I caught a rare Habanu caterpillar in Betnik recently that had 16 eyes. All insects are special, but these torch bugs happen to be very rare. You can't find this kind anywhere else. If the cavern floods, they'll die and become extinct. Oh, that would be a great shame, since there's still so much we don't know about them.
Je fanouška do hmyzu. Paninka teda. S překladem spokojený? Ano, ano, jsem spokojený s překladem. Občas to trochu drhne, ale po 9 letech čistý angličtiny je to prostě pro mě totální luxus. Takže jo, já jsem velice spokojený. Děkuju za optání. Ty už jsi to zkoušel hrát s překladem, co tomu říkáš, jaký máš názor? Tak, výborný, a tady bude ještě
Oh, hello. You look like a hardy soul, unconcerned with the prospect of death by trick, trap, or misadventure. How do you feel about helping a defenseless scholar from Gideon unearth a little history from Undertow Cavern? Oh, and can you swim? Have you heard of Phaelivon the Magnificent? He was a famous Nibonese minotaur hunter, but his final resting place was lost to time. After years of searching, I think I finally found the site of Phaelivon's mausoleum. I hope to recover proof that this is Phaelivon's tomb. His armor, helm, and sword would do nicely. But I didn't get far before I found the cavern overrun with goblins and minotaurs, and parts of it are flooded. I'll pay you well to help me. No one in Leowyn realizes that Undertow Cavern is the final resting place of a great hero. Let me secure my belongings and I'll meet you inside. Time to grab the bull by the horns and wade right in. I found accounts of Phaelivon's burial in a shining mausoleum on a hill outside Leowyn. He was laid to rest with his arms and arms, relics of his many victories. This is the place, but goblins infest the caverns, and minotaurs too.
Tak držím pěstky, aby se dočkal tak, jako jsem se dočkal já, ale...
You would be, I suppose. Well, Phaelivon the Magnificent had a golden helm. He wore armor of impervious mail, and he wielded a sword of exceptional sharpness. The stories say that Phaelivon had the most beautiful mail, impervious to sword, arrow, and spear. We don't know much about armor of his era, but he was known as the Magnificent. I can only surmise his armor was quite splendid. Phaelivon's sword was so sharp, it was said to be able to cut the air itself. No, that isn't right. I suppose any sword will cut air. Ah, that's it. This one could cut through armor like air. That's what I was told. As I understand it, the helm was a gift from the Lord of Leowyn in gratitude for Phaelivon's many heroic deeds in Blackwood. The stories say it was fashioned in the shape of a roaring dragon's face. Well, it has been many hundreds of years. I suppose Phaelivon's arms and armor might not be much to look at now, but in any condition they would be of immense historical value. I simply know it. I suppose goblins aren't much of a surprise. They infest many caves in this region, although I had hoped I wouldn't run into any. The Minotaurs I didn't expect. None have been seen so close to Leowyn in centuries. That's the very question I was wondering about. Wherever they came from, these Minotaurs seem very hostile. Enraged, even. I've heard all kinds of fighting inside. I think they're angry at the goblins. Do Minotaurs and goblins get along? That's because it was swallowed by the earth. One night, 700 years ago, people living nearby heard a terrible sound. When they came to look in the morning, they found that the whole mausoleum had fallen into the caves underneath the hill. Because the caves beneath this hill were the site of Phaelivon's last and greatest battle. The mausoleum was a monument to his victory, as well as his tomb. Until Undertow Cavern swallowed it up anyway.
Adon s translátorem, ale myslíš tenhle ten? Že teda aktivuju. Počkáme, jak se to znova načte. Převoda funguje. Když mluvím, tak mi to otevře tady takhle, jakože okno. A do toho okna se skopíruje všechno, co je vlastně v tom dialogu. A když to jenom potvrdím, tak se mi to teda zeptá, jestli může jako jít ven ze hry. Otevře mi to prohlížeč a rovnou mi to jako takhle. Jo, počkej, ono mi to překládá češtiny do češtiny, to je taky vtipný, ale jako jasně. Normálně to překládá z angličtiny do češtiny, protože normálně by tam byla angličtina. A protože tam mám češtinu, tak tam je teď čeština. A takhle vlastně funguje ten addon. Takhle jsem hrál poslední třeba měsíc před vydáním té češtiny. Tak, já se zase vypnu samozřejmě. Protože už ho nepotřebuju. Tak, jestli si myslel tenhle ten addon, tak jsem tady prezentoval, jak by to mohlo vypadat, pokud by to šlo udělat. No a zároveň už se blíží ta 5. hodina, tak já se rozloučím, protože pivo volá a neptá se. A don't translate. To je ono, myslím, no, zrovna. Že? Počkej, kam jsem to vlez. Jo, translate se to jmenuje. No, jak říkám, už budu končit. Děkuju všem, co se díváte. Doufám, že jsme si hezky pokecali a budu se těšit zase příště a mám to v plánu, když se nic nepodělá, tak zítra od 3. Zase bych to zapnul. Udělám tuhletu jeskyni, určitě, na tu vlastně čekám od začátku, co jsem ten Blackwood začal dělat. A pak mi tu zbývají ještě 2 points of interesty. Beyond, což nevidím vůbec. Jo, počkej, to bude tohle. Jo, asi. Ne, tak není to ono. Hutant zel, to je tuto. Jasný. A ten Beyond. To je nějaký camp, teda ten, to bude tady. Jo. Takže tuto a tuto. Ale rovnou teda bych ještě došel sem a sunul tu toho bose. Když koukám, tu toho bose mám. Jestli pro mě nebylo lepší zkusit se zadat tam toho. No, to vyřeším potom, teď už jsem tady předtím. Takže jo, lidi, mějte se krásně a když to vyjde, tak zítra. Čau.